Hey, what's up, guys? This is Mansplaining Mike with the Mansplaining Mike Show, where wokeness comes to die. And today, we're going to take a look at some of Donald Trump's most recent executive orders that puts wokeness, or at least this aspect of it, right in the grave. A couple different aspects. So let's take a look at it and see what we think, guys. This first executive order we're going to take a look at is about getting those gender confused people out of our military. Like, if you don't know that you're a man, how is another man going to take you serious on the battlefield? They're not. Nobody's going to take us serious. We have that going on in our military. We'll also talk about some of the arrests that have been made and some of the people who are going to be shipped out of our country. Thank God for that. We need to get these fentanyl dealers and these pedophiles out of our country. The illegal ones. I think we should probably get all the legal ones out of our country too, either through deportation or the rope. I mean, just to be honest, if you're here and you're molesting kids, I don't care if you were born in this country or not. We need to take you out. Anyway, guys, let's get into this. We'll be able to see Donald Trump sign this executive order banning these gender freaks from the military. Thank God for that. Let's get into it.
And President Trump is working to reshape the military with 3 new executive orders. One of those orders will ban transgender service members. In 2017, Trump banned transgender people from serving in the military. Biden repealed that ban in 2021. Now Trump is reinstating it. He is also planning to give back pay to service members who were discharged for refusing to get the COVID-19 vaccine. Now, the next order is expected to gut the military's DEI programs.
Thank God for that. And he's cutting DEI all over the place. It's not just having to do with that. We'll get into more executive orders and more statements that Donald Trump has been talking about that'll get our country back on track, get rid of a lot of these weird policies that's been going on. And here's a pedophile. He's getting kicked out of our country, and Dr. Phil talks to him outside when he's getting arrested. It's actually kind of funny. So he gets to meet Dr. Phil on his way out. Hopefully it'll get his mind together. Maybe he won't be a pedophile no more. But let's see what's going on with this guy.
What's your name?
Seda.
Jada what? You have a person I think.
Sam.
Jada Sam?
Yes.
Where you from?
Where I was born or where I'm from?
Where you born?
Thailand.
You been deported before from the United States?
No.
Never been deported?
I've been in the system before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have you been charged with
Charge where?
before?
I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna talk to my lawyer.
Yeah. Are you a citizen?
My mom said that.
Your mother's a citizen?
Yes.
But you're not?
Nope.
But you've never been deported before?
You Dr. Phil. You look like Dr. Phil.
Yeah? How do you know me?
No, I seen Dr. Phil, on TV.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is an example of sanctuary cities, right? We got an illegal alien convicted of sex crimes involving children. And he's walking the streets of Chicago. Again, the downfall, the problem with the sanctuary city, that people like us walking the street rather than local law enforcement working with federal agents. This is what we're dealing with. Yeah. You've been charged with sex crimes with children?
Not really.
Not really? And never been deported?
Nope.
Huh.
Well, we know he was charged with sex crimes against children. The officer just let us know that's what he was charged with. And he's going to say, not really. What does it mean, not really? It's either yes or no question. These people need to get it together. These officers have a whole lot of patience. Well, I guess that was Dr. Phil. So I guess he didn't have the authority to just smack him in the mouth. But I'm surprised one of those officers didn't do it.
Let's take him in, process and lock him up.
Got it, sir.
Alright. You got a transport?
Working on it.
Man, send that illegal back to Thailand where he came from. We don't need any illegals here. It doesn't matter what color you are. If you're here illegally, you gotta go. You guys can't stay in this country. Anyway, guys, let's take a look at what Donald Trump is doing to improve the schools and keep our children safe. And my God, it's needed. getting these radical leftist ideologies out of the schools. That's important. Some of these kids are going to school normal and coming home gender confused, wanting to chop off their body parts and stuff. Anyway, let's get into it, guys, and see what we think.
My Department of Education will inform states and school districts that if any teacher or school official suggests to a child that they could be trapped in the wrong body, they will be faced with severe consequences, including potential civil rights violations for sex discrimination and the elimination of federal funding. As part of our new credentialing body for teachers, we will promote positive education about the nuclear family, the roles of mothers and fathers, and celebrating rather than erasing the things that make men and women different and unique. I will ask Congress to pass a bill establishing that the only genders recognized by the United States government are male and female, and they are assigned at birth. The bill will also make clear that Title IX prohibits men from participating in women's sports, and we will protect the rights of parents from being forced to allow their minor child to assume a gender which is new and an identity without the parents' consent. The identity will not be new, and it will not be without parental consent. No serious country should be telling its children that they were born with the wrong gender, a concept that was never heard of in all of human history. Nobody's ever heard of this, what's happening today. It was all when the radical left invented it just a few years ago. Under my leadership, this madness will end. Thank you very much.
Yeah, he's right, guys. The only time it existed is under like far left radical regimes. In fact, that's why a lot of people they like to call Nazis and stuff like that came into power. It was because they wanted to get rid of these radical ideas and this dirty sex ideology that was being pushed on the kids. In fact, a lot of the speeches, if you can get them translated from people like Napoleon or, I hate to bring him up, and I don't think he's right about a lot of the things he did, but he was right about some of it by bringing the morality back to his country. Hitler was talking about how they had pornography and were trying to demonize children's minds and just corrupt morality. That was a lot of the problems he had with them if you listen to those translated speeches. I'm not saying at all that you guys should worship Hitler or think that he's the greatest person ever to live in the world or anything like that. I'm not telling anybody to think anything like that. I'm just telling you that he had brought that up as a reason why he didn't like what was going on in his country and some of the things he was trying to reject. But anyway, guys, let's take a look at this next video and see what we think about this.
So Mississippi is trying to pass a law that is so extreme and unbelievable that if I didn't come with receipts, you would call me a fucking liar. This sounds like fake news, but I assure you, it's not. So Representative Keene proposed House Bill 1484, and it's a bill to certify bounty hunters to hunt down illegal aliens in Mississippi.
That sounds like an awesome idea. Why wouldn't we employ those guys to do a little bit more work? It'll put some more money in their pocket, give them more things to do, and we got to get these illegals out of the country. Crossing the border illegally, that's a crime. And if your first act of coming into this country is a crime, you need to be punished for it.
The offense of trespass by an illegal alien under this section is a felony for which the authorized term of imprisonment is life imprisonment without eligibility for probation, parole, conditional release, or released except by an act of the governor or the natural death of such person. That's right. Life in prison if you are caught in Mississippi as an illegal alien.
Well, that's horrible. Not because they're going to have to go to jail, but because we're going to have to foot the bill for them to stay in jail for life. We need to just deport them or give them that final solution, but we can't just keep them here and make the taxpayers pay for 3 meals a day and 3 hots in the cot. That's what they call it. The free toothpaste. We get a free toothbrush, free underwear on us. No, we don't have time for that. They're not even citizens. They didn't even pay into our prison system. And we're supposed to keep them alive in our prisons? No, they got to go home. I don't know what they're talking about, a natural death of that person. I think they just need to either be dealt with or sent back home. I think they should just be sent back home, guys. I'm not condoning that type of stuff. But if you're over here illegally and you're raping kids and all that type of stuff, like that guy that got arrested where Dr. Phil was outside talking to him, if you're anything like that, look, the final solution is the only solution, because we shouldn't deport you back to your country so you can do a whole bunch of molesting on kids either. We need to protect kids all over the place. American kids are the ones that's most important right now. But what I'm saying is, every kid deserves a chance at a good life. And being raped, that's not giving them a chance at a good life. I'm not saying they all deserve to come to America. That's not at all what I'm saying or advocating for. And we shouldn't pay for them to have a good life unless you want to send your money over there voluntarily. We shouldn't get taxed so that they can give money to the Clinton Foundation to launder money back into their pockets. Or I'm sorry, that's allegedly. Give our money away to other countries that they see fit to give it to. I think there's a lot of other things we could be doing than giving our money away. Anyway, guys, let's take a look at this last clip here and see what we think. I'm just reacting to it with you. I don't even know what the clip is yet.
Martin Luther King Jr. was a completely made-up character created by the FBI. And I know I'm going to get so much hate for this, but you cannot deny this is not the truth, because this is coming directly from the unclassified files that President Trump released. This is directly from the FBI website, that is vault.fbi.gov. This is where the unclassified document on Martin Luther King Jr., his image, and his assassination is uploaded. Just in the first 5 pages, it completely reveals how Martin Luther King Jr. was selected to be the activist leader and how they pushed it through mainstream media news to create their narrative. It states right there in the middle, I know it's kind of hard to read because the files are old, it says Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was the target of an intensive campaign by the FBI to neutralize him as an effective civil rights leader. And it also says this and other testimony describing this FBI counterintelligence campaign against King reached the public through the news media. Hold on. So create a narrative, hire an actor, and then use mainstream media to program it to become the truth. This is just more confirmation that this has been their playbook the entire time. If you're not following me, I encourage you to follow me, because I am going to continue to record short series to break it all down for you guys.
Yeah, just wait until they try to push their false probably be the Antichrist, but wait until they try to push the false Messiah on us with Project Bluebeam. It's going to be even crazier than that, guys. But I can believe that Martin Luther King was paid for and bought and placed. That's not really surprising information. The government always does stuff like that. If you guys are surprised by that, you should look back at some of my shows I did about MK Ultra, mind control, and other things like that. Our relationship with Israel, for example. But anyway, guys, I thought all of this was really interesting. I think it's great that Donald Trump is putting wokeness in its place, which is 6 feet deep. We don't have time for that type of ideologies in this country. We're not a communist country. We call ourselves a capitalist country, but at the end of the day, we're just a constitutional republic. And I think that's more what I want to be called, even more so than MAGA, is a constitutionalist. Because the Constitution is what makes this country great. And if we're going to make it great again, we got to understand what that Constitution says. And everything that's happening as far as deporting these illegals is 100% constitutional because of what the 14th Amendment says, especially that little part about being jurisdiction thereof. I'll get into that in another show. I'll break it down a little bit further and talk to you guys about what that means and why it's significant and why Donald Trump is really doing the right thing by getting rid of all of these people, guys. Anyways, this was the Mansplaining Mike Show, where wokeness comes to die. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Make sure to like the show, comment, subscribe. All of that stuff helps, and definitely share the show. Share it with some sissy liberal who you guys know will cry about it for the rest of their lives, or the next 4 years, or the next 10. Nobody really cares for how long. Just as long as those liberal tears are flowing, and maybe we can put them in a hot tub one day. Anyway, guys, I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out.